For those who don't know me, my name's Tony Body. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Fresno County Sheriff's Office. Obviously had fantastic news come our way today, finding Miss Tiffany Slaton in the eastern portion of Fresno County. She's alive and well and being checked out just to make sure everything's good with her, and our detectives are talking with her further, but want to invite you this opportunity to speak firsthand, obviously, with her parents and with Christopher from Vermillion Valley Resort, who made the amazing discovery earlier this afternoon. So with that, I'm sure all of you would probably like to hear from Tiffany's parents first and foremost. So I'm going to turn the floor over to Bobby and Fredrina, and I think everybody just wants to know, how are you guys feeling right now with this news?
Oh my God. This has to be the third or fourth best day of our lives after our children's birth. So we are extremely excited and happy to hear the news that my daughter is now safe. We are more happy that she's safe than anything else because a ton of weight has been lifted, and we can't thank the Sheriff's Department of Fresno enough, and the search and rescue team enough and most certainly
the community.
The community has been outstanding in the search for Tiffany.
Yeah.
What did it feel like finding out today?
So, as you probably already know, we are headed out to Fresno tomorrow afternoon. So we were doing last minute shopping, and it's really surreal to actually receive a telephone call in the middle of shopping for clothes for warmer weather when we're already in warmer temperatures here. So we were in short sleeves and everything. So to get a phone call that Tiffany is doing fine, it's hard to contain your tears and your excitement in the middle of clothes shopping.
Yeah, I think I know for me, I saw a lady and their Bobby was crying and I didn't know what was going on. And I just grabbed somebody and said, "Can I hug you?" And I did. I was crying and hugging, and I felt so bad. I mean, I feel bad thinking back to that lady, but she was just somebody that was close, and I needed to hug somebody. So whoever you were, thank you for letting me hug you.
Since you got the good news, have you had an opportunity to talk to Tiffany directly?
Well, I got the telephone call before she actually got off the mountain. She called me on her way down from the mountain. As soon as they were able to get cell signal, she actually reached out to me, and that was truly when the tears started flowing, because I hadn't heard from my baby, and I know she is not a baby. Okay. So she's well over the baby stage, but she's going to always be my baby, just like my other kids will always be my baby. But I hadn't heard from her since her voice since actually the 18th. So having her to hear her voice, I can't even put it into words how excited I was.
Yeah.
And what did she say to you?
She said, "I'm sorry." She said, "Dad, I'm alive and I'm sorry, but I'm alive, and I wanted to call you and let you know that I'm alive." And I asked, because I didn't want to get my hopes up. I asked, "Who was this?" And she says, "This is Tiffany." And that was it. I just thank God for that moment.
Yeah.
Because prayers were answered. And I promise you, a lot of prayers went up.
No, for Drina, it was just Mother's Day over the weekend. What was Mother's Day like, not knowing where your daughter was? And how did that feel?
It was terrible. It's truly terrible. I think for any mother who doesn't know where her child is, it's just horrible. We talk to Tiffany all the time, and to know that I couldn't talk to her for Mother's Day, it was really hard. But I can tell you, there's one thing that my family and myself are very good at, is looking for the positives in everything. We had lots of people from actually Fresno and Macon and around the world that would just say, we can't really express how you're feeling, but you're still a mother. And we want to say Happy Mother's Day. And that really got me through. I was happy for them for their Mother's Day, and they were happy for me as best as they could be for mine. So I definitely want to say thank you to all those people out there who thought about me and our family on Mother's Day also.
And I can assure you that this is one of the best birthday presents that Tiffany could receive, because tomorrow is her birthday.
Happy birthday, Tiffany.
My birthday is 1 week away from tomorrow. So it's a wonderful birthday gift for us. And my son's birthday is actually on the 19th. So he's also celebrating this wonderful birthday gift.
Yeah.
Is your son also planning to make a trip down?
We don't really know. I haven't talked to him about his plans right now, because his wife is a traveling nurse. The traveling medical field kind of is something that resonates in our family.
Yeah.
Just about all of our kids and their children or their spouses are traveling. They do some type of traveling
in the
healthcare field.
Yeah.
So whether they'll be able to come back down from Oregon is to be seen. We really just don't know.
Yeah. But they know.
We've
told them.
They do know, and they are just as excited about the fact that she's well and healthy.
Yeah. And we thank them for all that they've done.
Oh, and they did a lot for us in that time while they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that video that she mentioned from the China Peak camera, what was your reaction when you saw that? Because I know that was from the 20th, so Easter. So at that point, you had been in confirmation from her, but finding, something new of your daughter during this search, did that give you hope? Was that helpful to you?
I know for me, that was really hard to see. Is that the one where she was sitting down by the gas pump, it looked like?
Yeah, it's like the overhead view where it's
okay. Yeah, that
sidewalk.
Yeah, that was really hard for me, because I didn't know if that would be my last time seeing her. We didn't have any information besides that one video. And I just struggled with that one video for the longest time. But looking past that, I'm just thankful that all of this has worked out the way that it has. And it's a brighter time for us, at least for today. I can't wait to see her and hug her.
You just kind of walk us through just what these last few hours have been like for you?
Yes, sir. So we've been trying to get into the resort. With the conditions as pretty drier as they've been, it's been really hard to get up there. We made a push about a week ago, and that same day we weren't able to get in, so we had to turn around, and we were coming down past through Shaver, and we see sheriffs whizzing by with a train of horse trailers behind them. So we had heard there's a missing hiker, and that was a week ago, I believe. So we had an opportunity to go in today. So we made a push, and it was pretty hairy going in. So we made the decision to break up some ice. We were sliding off the road, so it was pretty icy. But we managed to get in there, and spent about an hour and a half breaking ice. And you know, it's just, I always say things work the way they do for a reason, and I'll get to the reason here in a second. But we made a push, got in there, and we just basically wanted to get eyes on the place. We knew there was a missing hiker, but we had no inclination or idea how far they could actually make it. And yeah, I'll keep with the story here. But so we're pushing in, we get in there, and we're looking over the resort and seeing the damages just from the winter. And usually we have bears that make an effort to get into some of the facilities. So we're making our loop around the resort, and sure enough, we get down to the bottom of the resort where one of our yurts is, and a bear had tried to claw his way through, but gave up. So we proceeded to go to the right of the yurt, and there was what we call the boathouse, the boat cabin, and it's a rental that we have. It was converted into a rental. So we see the door open, and I see some shoes down there. I'm like, okay, well, it's just a hiker who decided to, hold up in the blizzard that we had that previous night. And so as soon as we start making our way there, here comes Tiffany. She pops out, deer in the headlights. And as soon as I saw her, the look on her face, and by the way, she's striking resemblance to her mother. So she pops out, didn't say a word, just ran up, and all she wanted was a hug. And man, it was a pretty surreal moment. And that's when I knew that's when I realized who this was. And I just gotta say, man, it's every season we encounter some sort of situation that is pretty hairy. So over the off season, decided to take the Knowles Wilderness First Responder class, and for situations like this. But luckily did not have to do any sort of. All she wanted was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and we happened to have made a grocery run the day before, picking up supplies for the resort, and just to get through the day. And for whatever reason, we picked peanut butter and jelly as one of the things.
Oh my God.
She ate as much peanut butter and jellies as she could stand to eat. So but it's just, I don't know if words could put into how spectacular and just the feat that man, we see so many hikers come off the trail, and for her to, we got to know her a little bit on the drive, and how she has stories, and she could write a book. But it's unbelievable. She survived solely, I want to say solely, from what I remember her saying, off of leaks. And she, the thing is, it's just, like I say, everything happens the way it does for a reason. I'm sure she'll tell you guys, but from what she told us, it was a blizzard, and she pushed through that blizzard, and the first thing she saw was a cabin, and she held up in the cabin through the night. And I'm almost certain that the man, like I said, got to know her and what her interests are, and this girl was saved for a reason, and we didn't do the saving. It was the Lord that willed it into her. And man, she's gonna serve a higher purpose, that's for sure.
Christopher, when you started talking to her and she realized she was safe and was going to get peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, did she have any conception of how many people have been looking for her? Was she scared she was in trouble, or was this just great? I found people, I'm going home.
You know, I don't think she was aware. I don't think I think the extent of it was she says she's going to be in trouble, and from what I gather, it was her father that was going to be upset, not the authorities or any other person on this planet, just her father. But man, that drive down, she was talking to her father, and man, that was a moment that was very special to witness that love that she had for her father.
Did she have a concept of how long she was kind of
Nope,
gone?
not at all. She asked me, one of the first questions was, "What day is it?" And yeah, so she had an idea of how many days, but she didn't know like the exact day. So I think she was figuring 23 days or 22 days maybe. Ended up being 24, I believe. I'm not, and that's another thing I don't really follow, or I'm not big on social media or the news or nothing. So I was pretty, shocked at how big this search effort was.
What time during the day did you find her?
We got there around 11, I want to say 11:30. We started looking over the property, and then I got a timestamp on my phone. Actually, when she was hugging, I was like, this is a special moment. I wanted her to have that, so that was 12 o'clock, I want to say.
And then I guess from where she was originally thought to be, and then where she ended up. I mean, I'm not from there. I'm not, we're 2,500 miles away. Can you just really put into context, like how miraculous this all was? Just surviving a blizzard, riding her bike as far as she did. Just what does it all mean?
So the route that anybody would have taken was pretty off the beaten path of what she took. So it was pretty miraculous how she even got to where she was. It wasn't wasn't the most traveled trail that she chose to take, but we were able to piece together just roughly how she got to where she was, where we found her. So but to last that long is just that kind of, man, I can't even grasp it or wrap my head around it. I think all the locals here are going to feel the same way. Usually, I don't mean to be grim, but usually this doesn't end well, considering the situation and the duration of time.
How was it that she was able to get in and maybe lock herself in or something?
Typically, we leave all the cabins, um, you know, uh, unlocked, and just kind of hope that we don't have, looters. It's mainly for people that, and just as this scenario played out, where if they need to hold up in one of our shelters, then it's available in the, whatever conditions they're encountering, or if they're injured or what have you. I don't know. It's At the end of the day, it's the Lord's will, and He's the only one that truly understands. But
Did she have gear with her that like helped her survive? Was she prepared to be out in the woods? Because it seems like she was.
No, at one point she was, from what I gather. She had a bicycle with some bags on it, or some gear. She had a tent. But when we found her, all she had was just a few things to get her through, and I think a sleeping bag maybe. And I don't even know if from what gather, she didn't even have any supplies or food to get her gone. She ditched pretty much everything she owned as soon as she realized she ran out of food. She just, I guess, decided to live, and she made it happen.
Yeah, so obviously, what a miraculous day. I mean, we've been waiting for nearly 3 weeks to be able to deliver news like this. Just absolutely incredible. I think it speaks to the wherewithal that this young woman has. She's obviously relentless. We're blown away. We don't know how she got from where she was last seen to where she ended up, given the conditions. For us to hear that she was last near Cressman's on a great day of driving conditions, it's going to take you an hour and a half to drive probably back to where Christopher is. So for her to be on a bike and on foot is truly amazing. Our search and rescue team just can't get over it. I mean, you don't see stories like this. And to get that phone call around 2 o'clock this afternoon from Vermillion saying, we've got a woman who matches Tiffany Slaton. I think you've been looking for her. We're like, yeah, bring her to us. Let's confirm that. And we got the same story that on the way she had called her dad, and her dad called our detective and said, hey, I just heard from my daughter. And we were like, okay, we're aware she's supposed to be coming to meet up our deputies. But we got to do our thing and just officially check that box and make sure it is in fact Tiffany. And of course it was. And I know Detective Puente, first call was to Bobby and Fredrina saying, it's official, it's her. And that's the news that we were hoping to deliver.
She was clearly not near any of where you were searching. Is there kind of going to be like a backtrack to kind of see like when she was in certain areas, or we're just kind of like, okay, we're glad she's here, like let's move on, or kind of what happens next on your side of things?
Yeah, I mean, what we're going to rely on is the interview with Tiffany. I know detectives are trying to speak with her right now to get the account of what she experienced. As Christopher kind of mentioned, time is kind of lost on you when every day you're just fighting to stay alive. And if you rely on electronic devices to figure out what time it is, what day it is, they kind of all pass. So maybe she kept a log, maybe she wrote down each day what it was like, what she endured. And we can use that, of course, using some math to figure out when and where she ended up where she did. But again, we know we had lots of reports from the public. Hey, I saw her here. I saw her on this date. The 24th was really the most substantiated witness account we had. So we had to go off of that. As we look back on it, dates don't mean so much now because now we have her. We found her. Even if you take the account of somebody saying, I think I saw her on the 28th, well, that's still 2 weeks from where we sit today. So she covered a lot of ground, and she's going to have an amazing story to tell. Like was said, this is the stuff that books are written about. You just don't see these survivalist stories. I know in the last 10 years here, we had some big headlines. We had a woman who was found after about 9 days. She broke her leg and used a water bottle to fetch water from a creek and stay alive, and we found her injured. I think in 2021, we found another woman who rode out a storm and sought coverage inside of a restroom. But 2 days, 9 days, that's amazing. But 3 weeks, it's unheard of. And again, it speaks to the tenacity that Tiffany has, that she's a fighter. She's not going to give up. She's going to live off the land and not give up. And I think that this is a message to everybody out there. When you think times are tough, look what Tiffany went through. So don't give up. Never give up. Stay in the fight and just pray and hope that there's people out there who are going to come to your rescue.
Did she have an education, or has she just been an explorer who happened to make some good choices and find shelter?
I'm laughing because that is our family.
Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah,
We believe in adventure. We believe that life is an adventure. ever since the kids were younger, that's something that we focused on, is how to survive if this happened, or how to survive if that happened. It's just the people that we are, and we teach other people the same thing. So it's nice to know that as parents, that all the things that we've taught her, she actually did. And it makes us feel great. How about you, Bobby?
Well, one of the things I was going to say is that we used to, just as kids, they would actually have tent setups. We've always been an outdoor type family. We have a small farm here, so the kids are always outside. We didn't even have a television until Tiffany was 16. So they have always had their adventures outside. So as far as training is concerned, Tiffany is a trained forager. She has a background in nutrition. She believes that uh, all any illness that you have can be healed simply by what nature has to offer around you. So, does she have formal training? Maybe not from a classroom setting, but we do account a lot of her as understanding of what she needs to do when she's out and about on these adventures that she goes on. To her upbringing, the way that we taught all three of our kids, our boys are the same.
That's incredible parenting. Are you guys thinking about getting her a sat phone for her birthday, though?
We've talked about more than just a sat phone.
She's getting it all.
She's getting a lot of stuff to track her movements now. Again, after talking to her, I don't think that she was aware that anyone was actually out looking for her, which is something that a lot of the people that we have been talking to that have been praying for her, and there has been a lot of churches and a lot of people that we have to thank, that have been praying for her nonstop since the day one. Mm-hmm. They have made it possible through their prayers, for us to be reunited with our child. Yeah. And we can't thank the Shaver and the Fresno and Mr. Chris. Your organization now are at the top of that list of who will be prayed for, because without you, without your decisions to leave your sheds open, I don't think that we would be having a happy ending to our story like we are.
And definitely thank you to the policemen and women and whoever else was out there helping and searching, even their wives and husbands.
That allowed them.
Yeah, that allowed them to, or was open. I mean, however you want to put it. I'm just thankful that all of you all were able or there to be a part of all of this. We thank you so much.
And definitely, I have to thank the people of the media, because if it wasn't for the people of the media getting this out as quickly as they did, and social media included, this would have been a different story.
Yeah. Thank you, reporters. Thank you to all of you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
The sheriff's department was kind of concerned of the snow we were getting yesterday going into another day of the search.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the inclement weather was a concern. That just compounded the fact that here we were working behind the 8 ball, not having any sign of her. So everything was racing through our mind. I mean, you never want to go there thinking that somebody's maliciously done something to somebody who's missing. There's always the chance that she had a freak accident. We have to keep everything open. And we held out hope that we'd have a day like this because we have experienced similar incidents before, and we'll take this every day of the week. I mean, this makes the month of May for us